Any questions?
Dean Paul, for a helicopter add-on, what are your thoughts of training and going towards the commercial, or stick with a private and then move on to commercial?
For add-ons?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? It just keeps coming up like every day.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because a lot of people ask this question. So here's the deal on commercial. Whether you go to private or you go to add-on. I've been doing check rides for 24 years. And we do a lot of commercial add-ons. We do a lot of them. We've done a lot of them just in the past year. This year specifically, we've done a ton of commercial add-ons. And a lot of people call up and they say, hey, I want to do my commercial add-on. I'm like, okay, cool. You can obviously do that. However, did you read the reg and do you realize that there's 35 hours of PAC that you have to have before you can take the test? And they're like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah. So you either got to go fly solo for 35 hours to build that 35 hours of PAC time once you have your private before you can test for the commercial. If you do the private add-on instead, it's only 10 hours of solo, 10 hours of PAC. So it makes sense to do the private first and 20 hours of dual training, 10 hours of solo. You can take the check ride if you're proficient. Most people take more like 40 or more, but you could take the check ride. Then when you go fly SPIC, whether you're flying by yourself or you're taking friends and family to go fly and have lunch somewhere or go sightseeing, you're building PIC time towards the commercial. What people say once they realize this, they're like, oh man, I don't really want to fly around 35 hours by myself, so I'm just going to go ahead and get the private add-on first. So again, it's your choice. There's no reason you can't go straight to the commercial add-on. There's no reason you can't. Just remember there's that 35 hours of PIC, and everybody that I've ever done these for always go, you know what? Let me just do the private first. So you got to look at that as the biggest thing. And again, sure, doing the private first and commercial later is another check ride. I get it, that's more expense. You could do all the training instead of training for private, you could do, well, here's what you could do. And I've seen this done. Our examiner said you can actually do it. You could cover all of the commercial requirements, right? You could go to flight school and say, okay, I'm going to do the private add-on, but I want the requirements to cover the commercial so that they could be used again for the commercials, if this makes sense. So you could make sure your cross countries are long enough to cover the commercial check ride later. You could make sure all your requirements would cover what a commercial would need, do the private, build the PIC, then freshen up a little bit with someone before the CFI check ride, and then commercial, then take the commercial check ride. That sounds confusing as hell, but hopefully that makes sense to you. It's your choice on how you want to do it. You can definitely go straight to commercial. And the other thing is, remember this, the big difference between private and commercial. At the private level, the examiners will say, we expect terminology to be a little iffy at times. As long as a person understands the concept, we can get them through the practical test. Now at the commercial level, we're going to cover all that same material we did at private. However, we need it smooth. We need it snap, snap, snap. Example, what are the three things combined to get you into selling with power? At the private, if you can kind of muddle your way through it and still get them correct with a little bit of struggling, okay. But at the commercial level, they're going to want to hear rate of descent 300 feet per minute or greater, using 20 to 100% of power, airspeed less than ETL. Nice, smooth, concise. So that's the big difference between private and commercial. The private check ride is going to be a little bit easier. So take that and use it as needed. And that's my advice on that one. And our clone is located at askhogs.com. You can go below and click on the link to go check it out. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can ask training-related questions, flight and ground. 14 years of my content's loaded in this thing. Blogs, podcasts, videos, paid content, free content. There's over 6 million words piped into my clone. It's amazing. Go down below, askhogs.com. The clone is free to everyone, and the clone is also inside of our Hogs site on every video, every page. So you can be in viewing videos and you can always ask the clone a question while you're at it so you can get an immediate answer. First, right here is free PDF, Private Pilot 101, Helicopter Training Blueprint. That's why we created this. And let me cover what's in the first chapter. Since you ask and you're at the beginning, That's why we created this. The first chapter are questions that we took like the top 10 questions that we get all the time, like, is learning how to fly a helicopter difficult? How long will it take to become a private pilot? How much will it cost to become a private pilot? What is the best approach to selecting a flight school? What are the key differences between helicopters and fixed wing aircraft? How many tests will I have to take? How many hours for solo on the license? Kenny's recommended training supplies. So this is absolutely 100% free. You can go down below. There's a link down below, or you can type in your browser, privateblueprint.com, and you can download immediately after you sign up. You'll sign up, enter your name and email, and the next page will show you download your book here. That's where you should start, because again, it's free. Or subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel and you'll get a notification when the new video comes out for either the live or the premiere, whichever way we do it. And then we want to also bring up, we are starting to update our R22 specific course behind us. Course using the helicopter behind us. Lindsay's in charge of getting in there and updating some images in the R22 site section of Hogs. We have R22 specific section and an R44 specific section that come with any of our memberships. So you don't have to buy that specifically. We use Private Pilot, for example, monthly membership. It has both the R22 and R44 sections in there. And since we have an R22 available to us and an R44 available to us, we thought, why not get the content updated in those courses with some fresh videos, fresh images. And also want to mention, hogspaysme.com. This is passive income. You want to earn some money, particularly if you're a flight instructor. Anybody can use the Hogs affiliate link. You go to hogspayme.com. That link is down below. You'll sign up for it. It'll give you access to a dashboard inside that you'll see your link and a link to share with others. So when they sign up, you receive 50% off our online memberships. Private pilot, commercial pilot, instrument pilot, certified flight instructor, and or private or professional pilot. That's $2,800. If you share your link with one of your students and they buy Pro Pilot, it's a lifetime membership for all courses, you will get $1,400 shipped to your PayPal account after the 30 days. We got 2 aircraft, and a lot of people going, well, I want to, well, I'm gonna. Well, that's when everybody's gonna start wanting those times. So to speed the process along, we need to get some work booked for these helicopters. Both of them are sitting currently not flying, and they're both ready to go. So reach out to Hogs Member Support, 574-767-1797 if you'd like to get on the schedule for some training. We specialize in check rides, finish the people up, but we can also do, SFAR checkouts. Again, you can come in for 1 day, 2 days, whatever you need, or you need a block of time. We'd even be willing to work you a little deal this time of the year to get some time on these aircraft. So again, reach out to Hogs Member Support, 574-767-1797.
When you feel the pressure to fly, but know the right decision is to stay on the ground, hit the Hogs no-go and live to fly another day. Helicopterground.com